Hi, everybody. I've already posted the cutting guide. You're going to be amazed at how little product this little album takes, but I need to let you know, I won't be using the Accolade. I don't have any more Accolade, and it was an older line. And what happened is there was some found in the warehouse, so Authentique put together some special packages, and they went like wildfire. So there is no more. But I'm going to be using the new Authentiques. I need to make a Memorial Day, 4th of July one. So I will be using America. And we did just get America back on in stock. Some more is in the warehouse. We do have tons more coming. But so grab it now, but don't worry. If it sells out, it's coming. Let's see. Not me. I'm cleaning today. You absolutely refuse. One thing, let me show you. I'll show you here in a minute on the box. I got to show you a couple of other things before we get started. Sorry. But you do want to purchase the coordinating cardstock because it's going to further your line. This one only has 6 designs, but you get 2 of each in your pack. So when you get the coordinating cardstocks that you order separate, you'll get the red, and then it's like a bright, so you can see the brighter red. And then there is a that I've already used some. So I did part of my box. It's prepared. It's the wood grain, and then the back of this is white. So it's a wood grain and white. And so that helps just kind of stretch your line with America. And so I want to show you a couple of other things in the box before we get started here. First, I'll show you the box. So this is a take on an older box I did, but I refined it, you know, as we cracked along the ways. We kind of learned different things to do, and I'll show you the different things I've done. And this is for my granddaughter who is graduating Wednesday. And so I did change the inside from the original to, instead of a huge pocket, we just have a small pocket. G45 regular size tags will fit perfect in there. Hi, Anita. Where did you folio for Accolade? Darlene, I'm not sure what you mean. The original one, or because the original one's on YouTube. This one, I'm doing this tutorial today. Now, I've already printed out her pictures that I'm going to put in the box to get. This one's for her, not her mom. And I printed it with my little 4x6 new sprocket, but we put hinges on this one. And you know what's funny is one of our design team members, at the same time that I was recreating this box, she was making an album in a box. So we've got 2 tutorials up for you. It's really kind of cool. This one, I took the spin off of the album I did. Again, these are G45 tags and the die that cuts it. I love this country too, more than anything than you know, Mary. My husband served 20 plus years. I served in the Army. My son served in the Air Force. So yes, we have to definitely celebrate our country. And of course, if you live in another country, I know you're just as proud of your country. But I did the pages very similar, different sizes, but they're on hinges, not like the first one where I didn't put them on hinges, which gives you a lot more room. And yes, basically you could get 3 on here, but I went with 2, and then 2. And of course, Wilbur, because she's going to school to be a vet after she's done here. In fact, she's already on her way. Wilbur, when as a puppy, she helped raise Wilbur. So Wilbur was in her graduation pictures. And then she'll have room for more, and then a nice big spot here for graduation day. Now, these were printed from my at-home machine. It's the Sprocket 4x6. They have the 2x3. They've now come out with the 4x6, and it prints more beautiful than even, I think, than the Kodak. And I'm not selling their products, but the printing is more gorgeous than the Kodak or the Selfie. Just have to say I'm impressed with the printing. But these pieces here and here, I have to tell you, one of our members, and I just love, she die cut these for me. Trisha, her name is Trisha, and I don't know what the die company is, but I have used them, love them, and she sent them to me, and this was one of them. But you definitely can use your Cricketer if you have another cutting machine. I agree. Nothing cuter than a beagle. So I made just a pocket. You'll be able to definitely add your pockets because you have a 1/2 inch gusset. And then it just closes right up. Then she's got some room here to even use as a signature page. And I'm so sorry about the Accolade not being available. And it just went out the door so fast and it's gone. It was a great line. It was around, what, 2-3 years ago. And it didn't sell as as quick as it did now. Speaking of beagles, it's Friday. I can show you here. I have one. See how he comes and stands up at the table? Hey, Wilbur, because he wants to see you guys. He wants to get on my lap. We're not going to let him. No, you can't be in the show. Do you think this is all about you? You should see his face. He does. He thinks we're talking about him. So this is what we're going to create today. My little butterfly fell off. And then I want to show you really quick the photo play, known for the holidays, just showed up at the door. And it will be on the website after the show. I'll have to get everything loaded. Oh, hi, Sharon. I hope you liked it. Gnome for the Holidays by Photo Play. So if you are a gnome lover, again, there's only 6 sheets, so I'll show you front and back. But it is pretty cute. I haven't been a gnome lover, but their last couple of gnomes I really liked. Colors are a little darker, not as bright as the Photo Play. I mean, as the Echo Park, but cute. It is cute. Hi, Teresa. Yeah, I think it Time to Celebrate came out quite cute. Nice stripes. A very nice plaid. I like this page. I really do. Gives you a great spot there for your photos. And then we've got our 4th of July. Wavy blue. Oh, kind of looks like another company's, but it's very nice. Well, nowadays, they all kind of go to the same graphics. I mean, not exact, but there's like generic graphics here. Nice red with a dot. And hi, Nancy. Really cute stickers. So this is the Photo Play, Gnomes for the Holiday, and 4th of July line, and it will be on the website this afternoon at countrycraftcreations.com. And then, because Authentique usually has, oh, there is a really cute ephemera pack. Authentique usually has a 4th of July line, but Authentique could not print this year. The printers are right here local, and they shut down. So here's the thing. Because Authentique is 100% made in USA, nothing is brought in from the outside. They couldn't print their famous line, which is very, very patriotic and very, of course, vintage and retro if you like it. But they put together, it's just called July 4th Collection Kit. So I'll have it on the website today also. But let me show you the images. They've taken them from other lines. You'll notice this from the calendar line. And they've gone through, which we just got done using in that folio, but they saw what I did, and so they put together these sheets. Now you're going to have a combination of smooth. So this is from Voyage. Now this is from last year's calendar line, and this is last year's. You'll have it, but the papers will be smooth and textured. Oh no, this is not the calendar line. This was actually from that winter snow one, but it goes so well. And they brought in from their Scholastic, so I'll be using these too in a couple of tutorials. From the Happy Birthday line, and again Voyage, which you've seen me use Voyage right there from Voyage. And then they did put in 2 of the Spectrum. And then they did put in the sticker sheet from last year, which is very patriotic, and it's the one that has the dogs. So very cute. So if you were looking for more of that vintage line, they really stepped up to try and help us. Wait, they still have the fair is on, but I expect that to change. The fair. I'm not sure what you mean, Lynn. And you know what? This is going to be such a great price, this one. Okay. Then the COVID and stay-at-home papers came. I needed to show you the first responders thank you card kit because some of you are asking. It's here. To be honest with you, I'm sick of this, but these I'm not sick of. But I want to show you. I'm going to be making these cards, and actually my daughter works in the lab, so I'll be making them for her to take to work for her friends. But the ephemera pack is super, super adorable because it has little things like this. So it's maybe you don't, you know, maybe you've had surgery or something. You just want to thank the doctors and nurses. There we go. And it has, like, if you want a card for your postman. Isn't it cute? So cute. So it does have some cute things. It's not just, I don't feel it's just for now. It's going to be if you have some other issues. But as always, I'm going to be redoing the cards. You do get the cute, and they've actually, it's not a bad cardstock, to be honest with you, but I will be cutting these apart and I will be putting them on my own card bases. But then I'll be using, you know, this on the inside. So you do get card bases. These are on the website, and you get some of the extra card bases for some of the big ones. So you'll have two sizes, but like I said, I will be putting them on my own cardstock. And these are all in the website at Country Craft Creations, ready to go. And again, whether you want anybody, teachers, maybe need to send out the thank you card, the doctors, the nurses, or you had surgery. Oh, there's the ephemera. Okay, so we do have the policemen, we have the doctors, even the UPS man, and mine definitely does deserve a card. So anyway, 8 card bases. They're available now. You're on a ferry boat looking for shrimp? Okay, well, that's not what you came for. Let's get started. Like I said, I've already gotten the top base done, and I'll tell you why. If I didn't, it's going to take us longer. The video will stay recorded. You're going to be able to come back in, and you'll be able to start and stop when we're done. But this will get us going and started. One thing you're going to see, I've closed these edges so that we don't have a bunch of like I didn't do it on this one, and already my edges just a little bit, you know, bend up, and that's what I wanted to avoid. So you want to start with 2 sheets of 12 by 12 cardstock. I will be scoring one with you, and you can make this one with me, and then you can make the other one off camera. And we're going to just put this in our scoreboard. You're going to score the exact same way on all 4 sides. We're going to score it 1/2. And 2. I had to think for a minute. So 1/2 and 2. Whoops. 1/2 and 2. And once again, 1/2 and 2. You want to do that to both sheets, but we're going to do some more scoring. So we're going to score, see this, hoping, and I chose the light blue. So see this score line down here? So we now have this 8-inch box in the center. We're going to score just down to this line, and I want to score at 1 1/2. And I'm going to come over here and score at 10 1/2. You don't have to do this if it maybe is confusing, but this is going to give you a 1/2 inch that we're going to fold over on this edge, and it's going to give you a nice finished edge. So turn your paper. I want you to score again just to that second score line at 1 1/2 and 10 1/2. So we're going to turn it once again and score at 1 1/2 and 10 1/2. And on the last one, 1 1/2 and 10 1/2. That's just a really easy step to do. And for me, I really feel that if we're going to be making a project and putting our time into it, we need to spend that extra 5 minutes, hi Debbie, to make it even better so that you have got one project that is completely finished and looks very professional. Okay, generally, if you're not going to do the extra scoring, you'll just cut out your squares. You'll have one solid square. But we're going to cut, we're going to have this little square in the center. So let me go ahead and mark these so you can see them better. I'm going to cut out the inside square right there. I don't want to draw on that because I'll make a mess of it. And then we are going to cut, we'll be angling. So we're going to start, see this inside square? So I would suggest you just, wait, and I'll cut this first one. And it'll make more sense. Your goal is to leave that 1/2 inch here, the 1/2 inch here. This one in the center, we need to be able to bend these. So we want to just go up the center of that square. And cut it diagonally. Try not to cut through that score mark. Okay, now so you can take a look at this. And this is going to fold over that edge. That's going to fold over that edge. Okay, but if you don't want to do that, just cut out your square. Do not cut this outside, cut the inside. Now you can also just cut at your angle and turn it to the other side if you'd like an angle, or you can just do it straight across. And you will do this to both pieces. Okay, my inside square. Good morning. Now, it doesn't matter where you start. We're just going to fold that very first or the most in score line. We're going to fold the next one. And the reason we're doing that is so we can kind of clean up this corner. And this one's a little bit tougher. Yes, we're cutting across that score line. I just want to clean that up if anything's sticking over my edge. Just separating those corners so they'll bend like so. You might have to play with it. Again, I'm just checking that the neatness in the corners is there. If not, then you'll trim. Like this one. It might give you the look that it's trying to tear. It's not. It's just, see how it's sticking past? Can you see that? It just sticks past there. So I'm just going to trim it. And to be honest with you, it probably won't make that big of a difference. It's just if it bugs you, and it bugs me. So I trim those. Hi, Margaret. Yes, it's a long weekend. Usually I fold my paper the other way, but I can't because I don't want to tear my corners right this moment. So now we'll get that 1/2 inch. We'll get those side 1/2 inch score lines now burnished in. So they're flat as could be. If you want a box, you want it nice and square. And I do triple, I triple mat. And with this box, that's the reason I don't want it out of chipboard, but I want it strong. And as long as you do a triple matting, and this doesn't take a lot of paper, so don't let that scare you, you're going to have a very strong box. See, the original one was made out of black, and then I used an ivory, a purple, and then the paper. So that, hear that? It sounds almost like your chipboard. Because there's 6 layers. And if you're wanting to be able to whip a bunch of these out this weekend for graduation, you'll be able to. Now, if you don't have graduation paper, I suggest you just use maybe some paper that is the color of the graduate. Because you need a top and a bottom. It's a box. That's why you need 2, bottom, top. No chipboard at all. Let's glue. I'm going to start with my small tab first. Because it just looks better, I thought, with these down. Yeah, I hate pulling out projects. I have my other graduation box I show in the video on scrapbookers, and it's been through some stuff, boxes, and I don't like that the edges are all kind of wrinkled, and so I thought we got to really figure out something to make this permanently last. Yep, just triple matting, but you got to remember you're triple matting inside and outside. So that's going to give you 6 times the layers. And if you're using artisan cardstock, well, that's going to add to the durability right there. Okay, see those nice clean edges? Love it. So I'm going to use this, first of all, for our Memorial Day barbecue. And I'll put our barbecue pictures and then a picture of my son-in-law, and husband in here. And then I'll use it for the 4th of July because it's not like we'll take a lot of pictures. Never do on those holidays, but I do have some. And so they'll go in here. See, and it doesn't take but a few more minutes to do this. I am using America by Janice. I think your favorite. Oh, that's not. I had a package. I'm using America by Authentique. I mean, by Echo Park. Sorry. Very cute. Very clean, very white, crisp colors. Wilbur's laying down now. Wilbur's not, he perks up in the afternoon. He's a morning napper. He naps most of the mornings. And then he's ready to go the rest of the day. He's kind of in his teenage years. Now see, I've got nasty little corners sticking up here, so I'm just going to clean him off before I secure it down. Don't be afraid to cut your corners. Because you want it to look nice, and that's going to be under the paper. So make sure it's flat. Really flatten those out. Whoops. Okay. Now, get those corners. You might, because we cut into the paper, remember? Okay. And you know me, I burnish a lot. Hello, good afternoon. I love to burnish because I love a square box. Now, let me give you some measurements. Like I said, this is the one I already did beforehand. Otherwise, the time frame would have taken us twice as long. This is the coordinating cardstock that I showed you, and on the back is white of America. And you need to have a back flap because we'll be connecting our box together. So for the triple matting sizes, that's what I'm going to give you next. But you can also decide how much of a border you want. Like on the graduation box, I needed a lot more of the purple to show because that's her colors. Totally up to you what you want to show. So everybody have their paper ready. Because for your matting, hi Lori. Oh, Lori, I was watching the videos of the boys out in the garden today. They are so adorable. She has twin grandsons that are just to die for. And they were watering the plants and squishing her plants and stuffing things in the plants. They're so cute. Decide on your base. I decided on red. And the box now in the center is 8 by 8. So easy. 8 by 8. Bye, Linda. Thanks for stopping by. And you need a top and a bottom. And you want whatever color you're going to use as your first base to be 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. Now, it depends on, like I said, how much of a border. I cut this at 7 5/8 by 7 5/8, but you could go 7 1/2 by 7 1/2. And that's going to sit right in the center. She'll start close to home to finish her bachelor's degree, and then no, she'll probably go out of state for vet school. And our top piece, I cut mine at 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. So I decided to go with the plaid, but look, I know it was so hard. I liked the plaid because we're going to use the cut aparts on top, and a not so busy background usually goes better with your cut aparts. But I definitely could use this for the inside if I didn't care if they matched. I've already done this piece, which will be the inside. This is actually the bottom of the box. I do mat the top and the bottom of the box because you need that strength, and it shows. And it's a very nice piece to put on your shelf. So I think on this one, I am going to go with the fireworks. Like I said, this one, exact same measurements. You need 4. So it took 2 of the 12 by 12 sheets because I had to cut them down, but you'll use all your scraps. So you use these same 4 pieces of paper, 4 pieces of 12 by 12, also to do all of these pieces. Like I said, it doesn't take much at all. So this one's done. We're going to do this one. It's kind of cloudy today. So I have the extra lights on, but it seems so dark in here. Well, she does want to be more of a wild animal vet. She doesn't want to just be a vet. It has to be probably the same, the exotic wild animal. And that's probably where she'll be. There's one up in your area, I believe, Cheryl. Okay, so my piece that's 7 5/8. And if you don't like that 5/8 measurement, just cut it 7 1/2 by 7 1/2. Need to move that out so I can put my hands behind here and really see where I want to put it. Perfect project for this when you have a smaller amount of paper also, where this one only has 6 designs. Because we don't have quite the variety to work with. But again, if you add the solid paper pack, it's going to bring it up to 9 sheets. Okay, get that glue smeared around because you want this, see, you want it flat. You don't want any bowing. And I'll go with the fireworks this time. Seven 1/4 by 7 1/4 is this size. And it gives it that really nice dimensional look too. Make sure no glue comes out. My granddaughter loves school. She's one of those crazy nuts. And she can be doing a test. She doesn't even worry. She's in college now. She's graduating high school with her associate's degree. And she's already halfway to her bachelor's degree. And the other night she needed to do her final math exam, but she had until midnight, so she wasn't even worried. Then she just goes on the computer and aces it. Okay, the red measurement, let me go over those again with you. The red is 7 7/8 by 7 7/8 because our inside is 8 by 8. My blue is 7 5/8 by 7 5/8. And my decorative paper is 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. So your inside is right there. So I want the wood on the inside to match the wood here because we're going to be putting these together. And I did prepare this one beforehand. And so I'm going to add this one to the inside, and then we'll add the outside. Now, on this project, the thing that takes the longest, you'll see in a minute, is cutting our pieces for there. Oh, that's one thing I knew I needed to check was the grain of the wood. There we go. So it's going the same direction. Oh, yeah, my hubby is off for the next 10 days because he has some leave that is use or lose. So he said, since it's a holiday, I'm going to take it off for 10 days. I'm like, good, you got lots of yard work outside to do. Stay away from the studio. He's excited. He does want to get the yard done. And I do like it when he's home. That's going to be the inside. Backside again. So it's kind of good if you use a paper that's not directional. And this really isn't directional, so I don't have to worry about it. But I really love it with the light blue. Got that a little off, didn't I? But it's the back. Light blue, red, blue, white. So it's very patriotic. And if you don't do a lot of chunky embellishments on the front, you could stack these on your shelf. That'd look kind of cool. Oh yeah, men in surgery, mine never would take it easy either if he had had surgery. There's no way. So that's the back side. It won't really get any decorating, maybe a sticker or the date, but that's it. Now we're not really going to put this box together yet. And a couple things you need to consider. How are you going to keep this closed? I have some magnets and I had bought them. Oh my gosh, let me get them. A while ago, they're not basic gray. Let me tell you, I fought and actually got cut because they broke so easy. But I have some. If you have some of these, I don't know, like I said, I've had them for years. They were in a box, so I thought I'm going to use them. Then I used 9. Yeah, 9 of these. I'll be using the basic gray. And so what happens is there are magnets here. I have 3 of those on each 3 sides. If you don't want to use magnets, you could definitely tie it, or you can make straps that come over the top. But I'm going to do the magnets on the side, and it's a little tricky. That's all I can tell you. It is a little tricky, so. But we're not putting it together because we do want to mat things. Now, when you do your matting, I have to show you. I've got one to put together with you. So I've put 14 of these together. You'll want 14, but from our pages that you're going to cut these from what is left over, and you want to cut for your pages 6. I use 6 sheets of cardstock, and these are 7 by 10. 7 by 10, and then after you cut these, you're going to have strips left over that look like this, and you're going to use those. So you don't want to cut any more new cardstock because you're going to have plenty from your scraps. So when your box is laying open, where I have these X's, you're going to have magnets here, and so this is a good time with your box just laying there to mark the pieces on the side where the magnets go. So your top, you'll have 2 on the inside. The bottom, they will be on the outside, if that helps. So I'm just putting 2 X's. That's not my placement. It's just my reminder. And you can't see the magnets, right? Because these are going to be put down first. Let me show you. We'll put these down. Then we're going to put the magnets on here. Then we're going to match them to our lid. Hi, Fauna. And then with your, again, these are the leftover pieces from when I cut these. Then these will sit on top of our magnets to hide them. And that's how that's going to work. So I need to give you measurements. So my box is now marked, and now you can definitely see how much heavier it is. It doesn't even bend. Okay, the sides are 1 1/4 or 1 1/2. So these are 1 1/2 wide, and they're 8 inches long. So my first strip, which is the red one, I cut this at 7 7/8. By 1 3/8. 7 7/8 by 1 3/8. And I'm doing the triple matting. This one is 7 5/8, so it's basically the same measurements as your inside pieces for length. So 7 5/8, but we did this one at 1 1/4. And my my pattern paper is going to be 1 1/8 by 7 1/4. What did I tell you this one? Oh, 7 5/8. They're exact same. And this one is 7 1/4. Again, it just depends on how much of a border you're looking for. And I put the wood grain on the outside. I'm going to put the plaid here, and then on the inside I'll go with probably more wood grain. So you're going to want to cut 14 strips of each. So 14 strips that are 7 5/8 by 1 3/8. 14 strips at 1 1/4 by 7 5/8. Now these are length is already going to be cut when you cut your matting for the inside, so you'll be able to just cut your width. This one 1 1/8 by 7 1/4, if those are what you choose. So now I'm going to put these two together, and again 14 of everything. Okay. Remember, we don't want to mat it yet. Now we could go ahead and mat the insides, of course, as long as you've marked these outside. Now you have one that's going to be the back. So it's going to be the one that has no marking on it. We're not going to mat these until the very last. So if you want to do the inside, you can, and that's what I'm going to do right now. And you can do 3 of them. So let's go ahead and put 3 of these together. We're going to do, as I've written back, when you fold this over, you should have X's for your magnets. So we're going to do these 3 inside, and it'll give it the strength also for when we're trying, because when we apply those magnets, it can be a little tricky, but not hard. Any wild plans for the Memorial Day weekend? Okay, there's my first one. Like I said, I prepared these last night because they take a while. They're not hard. It's just, it's what I call that busy piecework. Whoops. I know everybody will probably be busy crafting. I know I will. And squish and glue everywhere. Oh, camping in the backyard. Oh, actually, Cheryl, you know what? That sounds fun. I need to check the weather because my 2 grandsons, and I did ink these edges. Whoops. Have been wanting to do that. And so Grandpa's home for 10 days. We'll go ahead and put Grandpa to work. They might like that, actually. That's a cute idea. Online crop. Yeah, we're getting ready for our July online crop. Christmas in July. Working with Authentique on that one, so I'm excited. Yay, bring Nick. Yeah, have him sleep in the backyard with the boys. He would love it. I got things on a little crooked, but that's okay. Now, my back is here, so your back should be pointed to you if that helps keep it straight. Let's go ahead and just do these 3 inside pieces. And then also, what's nice is the page sits on top of here. So we're going to put hinges right on the inside. I love this. It looks so picnic, you know, like a picnic, picnicish. You got to say that one slow. Definitely Memorial Day. Anything, actually. Okay, that's the only 3 we want to mat right this minute. With these guys on. So when you get to this point, you want to grab the 2 pieces. The piece that you mat on the inside is going to be your bottom. The piece that has the matting, if you're doing it beforehand, hi, Donis, is going to be your top. Okay, and we are going to go ahead and try to, well, you know what, to make it easier, let's go ahead and turn this over. And the pieces that do not have do not have this, so we're going to put our magnets here. We can now place on top of those X's. Do not do the back. So once you get all your double matting done here, we want to go ahead and put these down. This is too thick. I didn't put the magnets underneath because there's too many layers and it just wasn't going to hold. Now you can see too, it's very pretty. If you want to just use solid color, especially for a graduation, maybe use 3 solid colors that are the school colors if you don't have a graduation paper. So that will work definitely. So we're going to cover this and we're going to do the back one. Hello. Now, Michelle on our design team also did an album in a box using Hooray. That is just adorable. So don't forget to check that out on her YouTube channel. And it was funny because she messaged me and she said, I'm making a box. And then I realized you're making a box and you've made a box, but my box is different. And I'm like, absolutely, get that box out there because hers is different. But now if you are matting, you're going to see how strong this has become. Super strong. So now the inside, we can put these 3 down. And see, I didn't cut enough strips. So I'll be cutting them with you, which is just fine. I only cut 12. Thought I did all 14. I did not. So if you have basic grade magnets, that kind of helps because they have a sticky back. If you do not have those and you just have your own, like I showed the other ones I used, you'll want, if you use score tape, it's going to help because when we go to put this where our magnets are, it helps to kind of with the placement. Okay. Also, I want to let you know so we can do this all in one day. When we do we're going to do the pages together. I'm not going to do the matting with you because it's pretty straightforward. You'll see once you get that done, but we'll do the hinges. We'll get our pages on and that way you'll be able to take off running with your box. Okay, you guys ready? This is the bottom. These are our 2 backs. Turn it sideways. And now we want to put these 2 together. Remember that 1/2 inch we did here? We did that 1/2 inch fold. It's going to overlap, so it's going to even add more strength to our box. Yeah, mini dots will work so great with those. Absolutely. Now, it doesn't matter if you're going to do it from this side or that side. It just depends on if you want a better view or what you can see better. But just make sure you don't want to go up to the score line or you'll get glue everywhere if you're using glue. Cover that in. Match your sides, which are the I have the worst allergies. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Which paper, Pamela? Okay, let's just hold that for a minute. Flip it over. Now, I need to cut 2 more. I only cut 12. Yep, I didn't cut enough. So I'm going to add a few clothespins here. Through here, and I'm going to cut. I'm going to let that dry, and let me cut some more strips. If I can measure correctly. Oh, at the beginning? It'll be on after I'm finished. So I need 2 more that are 1 3/8. I need to see if my light, it just seems so dark in here. There we go. It was. Okay, so 1 3/8. Because our sides are 1 1/2. And these are already the same width because they were leftovers. And this is our artisan, and it's kind of a denim blue. It's not navy, it's the denim, but it is showing a little darker. I don't know why. So I used the red, the denim, and light blue. Hi, Diane. Okay, let's go ahead, put these guys together. And these are too long. I thought it was the right length. I'm not going to add the matting, only because I don't know if I have enough strips. I may have to cut 2 more, and I'm not sure what I want to put on the back. So we're just going to add these after we put them together. Oh, every time I move it, bump it, it moves. There we go. Okay, let me grab the box. And let's just go ahead and mat those places. Yes, this video will be on YouTube. It will be on Facebook and Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. It will be in the Country Craft Creations Social Club and also the store page. This is shorter, I just noticed, but it looks okay. It just didn't quite cover my ends. That's why mine looks a little short. It is, but it looks okay. Let's check it back here. And after the live, it will be recorded, so you can access it anytime you like. And then you can start and stop. But as you know, in the beginning, we only made 1 bottom, so you'll want to stop, and then you can continue on to get your second one. So there is now, as you can see, the bottom comes up. And it does a pretty good job of staying there. And if you want to do ties, if you don't have your magnets, but you'll have kind of a little flippy thing here. So you'd want probably ribbon, something that will keep it close, but magnets are probably your best bet. So now when you open the flap, these are the pieces that we did not put any our finished papers on, because we want to put the magnets. So I'll open my basic gray ones. And we got plenty of these over at countrycraftcreations.com because I just picked more up from the owner. So let's get a plus and a negative, whichever ones you're choosing to use. If you're using large, I would go with 2. If you're using little, small ones, go with 3. So yes, it will take quite a few. And then the thing to remember is the placement of your matting. Remember, it's shorter, so don't go to the end. You're going to have to come into the center a little bit. Hi, Erica. How are you? So the best thing to do is let's get our magnets prepared. Good night, Monica. Thanks for stopping in. And it doesn't matter top or bottom, but remember, you need to come in. Because our pattern paper has to cover it. Plus, if they're a little closer inward together, I think you get a better hold. So I'm just going to open this end to help hold this firmly. Don't pull it up, push. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cover these. So I'll continue with the red on the inside, and I also, this way, can see, make sure my magnets are going to be covered. Oops, now on this one, I did forget. I'm going to put a piece of score tape. And I won't add score tape in the center, just so it'll help grab around those magnets. And that's 1/2" score tape, but you don't have to. You can just use glue the whole way if you want. But if you use score tape, you got to kind of put your placement before you let it down. The glue is to help close up those edges. Ah, Erica, it's supposed to start raining here, but then we're going to be in the 80s and 90s next week. So it's probably our last bout of rain for a little bit in the summer here. And we're going to get hot, which is just fine for a while. Okay, there's those magnets. Do the same here. Okay, make sure your edges are down for sure. Hi, Penny. Oh, and that's part of the problem. Well, I'm glad you do. I'm glad I'm glad my projects are something that you can use. So it goes this way. See, and the magnets will find their home. Yes, it would be super nice. So I'm going to just do, it doesn't matter really what side you do. I'm going to do the opposite side. Hi, Nancy. How are you? We're going to do the exact same thing. We're not worried about matching up this side. We're just worried about this side. Bring them inboard, remember? And then just grab a hold of that edge so it's sturdy. And then pull it apart. And now we can cover the inside. Same way. Now we have to really do that. We have to do this part before we do the inside. And then we'll do our hinges next. And you take time to go around that magnet so that the top of your paper is closed. Okay. Oh, we got to do this one. Yes. We tried to have some really big magnets too. I had a few made, Margaret, and we were going to do some different shapes. Of course, all your magnets have to be made in China. It's where basic grays are made. I mean, that's just where they're made. And we didn't, and I'm kind of glad. The expense was going to be terrible, but yeah, we were going to do an oblong one. I was pairing up with basic gray because, you know, he was our neighbor till he moved to St. George, but he's still kind of our neighbor. And the cost to make them oblong was just ridiculous. But oh, it would be so nice. When I've tried the magnetic tape, no, that doesn't work with our projects. I wish it did. The magnetic tape I thought would be the coolest thing. You could cut it on your lengths, but just doesn't hold. These suckers hold. Okay. So one thing too, if you're noticing, Magnets are going on the outside of the bottom. The reason being, we need the inside smooth for our hinges. So if you've, if yours is turning out to be the other way around, that's okay. Just turn your box. That would be my top if I had goofed. So really there's no right or wrong. Oh yeah. Well, if you find a tape that does fit, let me know, because that's strong. I've tried a couple of them. No luck. See, it takes a whole package of magnets. That is your main expense here on this little box. So if you don't want to use your magnets, I understand you can do a tie, or I just did not figure out a different closure. Michelle did on the box she made, where it ties like a package, because it's a birthday present. So be creative. And our last one. So you can see I'm not really pushing, letting it just fall, so that in case I have to reposition it, pull up my sides. Oops. And I'll just push it apart so they don't fall off. Now, this also looks like baseball. I love it. You know, Vanessa, I don't get those to work either. I don't know. I've tried the magnetic disc. Yeah, the roofing disc. We even had some cut and made them long. Where are you getting them? Are they strong enough with your basic gray? Because I don't know. I'm one of those too, though. If it won't hold, I have no patience. Geez, I'm kind of like Dieter. Okay. So we're almost past this tedious part. But you do have to take the time by the magnets. There's just no shortcut here. Oh, other side. Oh, what have I done here? Not cut enough. Oh, there it is. Is that it? That's not it. Uh-oh. 3, 4, 5. Wow. I shorted myself. Let's see here. Since this is the front, did the plaid on the bottom, we'll go ahead and do, so I don't cut into another sheet. I'll just use one of the wood grains to match the top wood grain. Didn't cut enough of the red and white. Which large one, Cheryl? You mean the big one that's like a spatula? Oh, I do too. I love magnetic closures. If you're not needing a lot of expansion, because if you need a lot of expansion, then they don't meet up. But yeah, this one is a little, you have to kind of get your placement just right, or you've wasted your magnets. Okay, so, and it will just grab each other. I have two of them. If your hand hurts, they're going to be hard to use. That's why I use these from. I don't have a lot of control with it. I had one sitting here. They're very big. Okay, did I get my magnets off? No, I did not. So this is where, if your magnets aren't touching, you just woke up. Okay, we're going to go back in for a minute, and we need to burnish these edges now that we've got some thickness. See, just push it flat and burnish it. If you're using artisan cardstock, it's not going to crack. But if we don't, there we burnish that over that edge, you're not going to have a square box. Or did the puppy just wake up? Fold this over and that over. Now we're all together. We have our bottom, and you have a very strong box. Yeah, they are heavy. They're heavy, Cheryl. Okay, inside. Magnets will be at the top, smooth at the bottom, because now we're going to add some hinges inside of here. So for your hinges. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make one set of hinges with you. And I'm going to give you all these measurements. We'll make the pocket together and your pages. I'll make one page with you, one set of hinges, and I'll show you exactly where they go and how on your placement of them. So this one is your pages, and I did 6. They're 7 inches by 10. You can even go a little higher. Your box is 8. Just remember, your box is 8 inches, and our hinges are sitting right here. You really don't want to go any further than that matting, because you need your box to close. So I did 3 sets of hinges. Hi, Dixie. They are 7 inches by 2.5, because my pages are going to be 7 inches. We're going to just put this in the scoreboard with the 2.5 at the top, and we're going to score, hi, TC, at 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2. That's going to give us 2 sets of hinges and a gusset of 1/2 inch. You'll do that 3 times if you want 3 sets. And I'll show you again after we put this together where my hinges are. So just start folding that edge in. So there's my first set of hinges. I'll have a gusset, so I'm just going to go to the other side and furnish the same. There's our 2 sets of hinges. So turn this over to the back, and let's add our adhesive. Wilbur hasn't woke up yet, so Dixie will have to wait. Now I'll just do the opposite side. You can get 3. It's going to be a close fit, but yeah, you could get 3 on there. Let me see. Yeah, you can get 3. So let me get the original box and show you here really quick. So what you'll do, I'm just going to put one on my left-hand side, which you could do it just on one side. That's what's so nice. You can do so many things with this box. So I have 2 on this side. I have 2 on this side, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. And then I have a set in the center. Because with these type of hinges, if you followed my tutorial for ocean blue, they lay flat. Now, on the inside, you could have 4 sets of these or 5 sets, however many of these you want. You could really extend this. You could also do 2 sets on this side, 2 sets on this side, and really decorate this up. Now, mine, I'm going to turn sideways like we did in ocean blue and have it as a side pocket. I'll show you that when we make our pages. You definitely can do, this is a do anything you want box, and it's so cool. You can also add some up here at the top. You know, you can't add any here on the top on the sides. You can add them in the center. Don't add them to the sides because your box has to close. Oops. Okay, so I want to make sure I've got everything burnished well. My hinges are dry. And for the tutorial, I will put it to the left-hand side. You can, and then you'll do the exact same thing on the right-hand side. Now for the inside, I just laid them down like so. Added my pages, and you'll just kind of decide where you want them. Maybe you want them more in the center. Maybe you want one here and one there. Totally up to you. So I'm going to go ahead on the center gusset. Whoops. You're not going to see that, so if you get glue, no problem. I'm going to center it. If you have more than one set, if you did more than 2, I mean, you'll just need to center it to however many hinges you did. I wouldn't put it like super close to the top. Those squares make it look a little off, but it's not. I don't know, it's not. Okay, so our hinges are there. See, they'll fold in. You can do it over on the right-hand side now and make a set for the center. Okay, let's go ahead and I'll score one with you. And again, it's 7 by 10. I'll do 2 because we'll do both on that hinge. And I'm going to score it 5. I chose to do mine because I only wanted 5 for my 4 by 6 pictures by Tom Lee, but you can also leave it at 6. I mean at 12 and score it at 6 if you want them to be bigger. Just so you know, play around with your box and really customize it to the size you want. Of course, you can't go any bigger than 6 because your paper's 12 unless you have extra long paper. So once again, with my 10 at the top, I'll score it 5 inches. Then you could also do a punch. You can do so many things with this. This is what I love about this style of page. It's totally open to your customization. You can do a border punch. You can do a thumb hole punch like we did on Ocean Blue. You can do so many things with this. So we're just going to fold it over both of these, making sure it's perfectly straight. Yes, she did. We had Wilbur at her graduation pictures, TC, because, you know, she's been there since he came home, and she's been his babysitter. Okay, so on your hinges, we want to attach them to the hinge. I'm going to do it this way with it over to the left because it makes it easier for me to first center that page completely, because it's going to be the same height, and I'm putting it right down here at the bottom. I'm going to fold my hinge over and burnish it. I'm going to keep the glue up here at the top so it doesn't squish out the bottom. See, and that gives you time to match your hinge to your page. And there's my bag. Now I need my page closed. So I'm going to run my adhesive down here at the bottom and on the top. It's touching the score line. It is sitting right there on the score line. If you're using wet adhesive, you need to push hard enough that you're smearing that glue around, but hopefully not out the page. Okay. Oh, I do too, Lynn. It's taken the nervousness out. Yeah, mine's crooked. Mine is, but it'll be just fine. Now, this one, so I'm just going to lay down on the back side. When I'm talking during the video, that always happens because I don't really fully pay attention to my project. So what I end up doing is pulling the hinges out after I do shows. You guys would die. See, because my page is crooked. Yours won't be because you'll be doing it, paying attention. See, it's sitting right on that score line. So right here at the top. Hinge over. So what we're doing is we're making the hinge come to the page instead of the page come to the hinge, you know, which can be very nerve-wracking, especially after you have the page decorated and you're trying to put it on and you're so nervous. Well, this way, we're telling the hinge what to do. Plus, it's also relaxing the hinge, so your pages lay so nice and flat. Okay, along the top and across the bottom. Again, I want to show you. I've shown this before. Maybe you want to close your page up and just use the small tags. You can add your adhesive up at the top and make a very short pocket if you don't want it to go all the way down. And I've done that so I could use the graphic 45 smaller tags. And then because you've added your adhesive, you've got it a customized pocket, and it's exactly, wow, man, the glue. It's exactly where you want it to be if you don't want this big long pocket. Now let's turn it the other way and burnish. Turn this way and burnish. And see, now you have your pages. So you're going to create the right hand side the same way. Left, right. So here's my two. And then I did put a 3/8 of an inch strip of the colored paper. And on the inside, again, just check your placement. Make sure your pages aren't going to go in the way of your closing, and put them where you want. This one's more centered. Hi, Jackie. Jackie, I did see you were texting me, so I'll answer you right after. And then this is going to be a great spot. In fact, I had a picture of Wilbur that's going here for her. But I wanted her to add her photos. Now, if you followed me last week and the week before on Authentique, this was the folio we did for the 4th of July over there. And I just wanted to show you again, those that didn't see the video on Monday or Wednesday. This was part 2. Remember these flaps that went in? I changed them. So I did an up and a bottom. So I wanted you to see that you definitely can customize either one of these albums or folios. So you can customize this too how you want. But now let's make the pocket so that you guys can be on your way and decorate. Like I said, I won't be decorating this one with you. In a couple of days, I'll show you the finished project. But you'll just go ahead and decorate the top. And one thing I like to do with weddings, graduations, or baby announcements, I like to have the announcements. I usually put them on the cover when it's a special gift. But see, it's all going to stay together because of our magnets. It's strong, and you don't have to worry. That's okay, Jackie. I don't expect you to keep my schedule. But also, that's what I was going to show you. Inside of these, the 7-inch, the tags from Graphic 45 that are the medium tags, they will fit. That's why I put the ribbon, so it's a stopper. But let's make the pocket on the top. So our pocket, that pocket is going to be 6.5 by 8. So 6.5 by 8 is what I chose. You can also customize that, of course. Oh, you're welcome, Mary. So we want to start by scoring at 1/2 and 1. The bottom at 1/2. Well, it won't matter. We're going to do both top and bottom. And 1/2 and 1 back on your 6.5 inch side. And I did score along the top to give that finished edge. So on your 2 sides that are going long, 1/2 and 1, 1/2 and 1/2 at the top and bottom. So we're going to furnish all those inside score lines. And let's do some cutting. This is kind of an accordion pocket. I wanted a little extra room to put the card, different things in there. No, I am not, Cheryl. There is no way I'm taking my granddaughter to New York. New York's one of those states I won't go to. Okay, only because there's just too many people at the bottom, and they're not going to let us come in. And so this is going to be either the bottom or the top. We're going to basically cut it the same way. And I'm going to just barely angle my accordions there. Nope, I'm going to Missouri for the retreat, and then she's getting graduation money, and I'm angling the top. So I'm just doing these exactly the same. No, I'll probably take her on the Alaskan cruise next year. Oh, we were going to take her, but I'm not taking her to New York during this. No, it's fine, Cheryl. I wouldn't. No, New York is a hot spot for a lot of reasons. No stores are open either. Yep. No, Rick wasn't going. Rick won't go to New York anyway. So the inside, we're going to fold because it's our accordion. No, it was just going to be a girls' trip to Sally's house and then for the graduation, but plans change, you know. So decide which one's your top and your bottom because it doesn't matter. No, we have our Alaskan cruise for crafting next year, so I might take her and her sister on that because then her sister, my other granddaughter, graduates next year. They're really close in age. Okay, that's the top. It's going to give us a nice finished edge. Now, I folded the 2 inside. I'm going to bring the bottom up. I'm going to use my clothespins Yeah, we were going to go to Sally's and I was taking Lexi, but no. You can also make your pocket any size you want, basically, to fit within the dimension of your box. And this one's too big. You know why it's too big? I scored on the wrong side. How funny is that? So I scored mine wrong. So I'm going to cut it off. We should have put it on the 8-inch side, but that's okay. Mine just won't have a finished edge now. Sorry about that, guys. See, that's what I get for talking, but it will still fit a G45 tag. I cut it down to 6 inches. And I lost my, yes, I did. You're going to make it the exact same way, but score on the 8-inch side. And put it anywhere you like. The original album, which I keep looking around, it's somewhere in this room, in my studio. I actually made this whole thing a pocket with a closed lid on it. And I didn't want to do that this time. And yes, these will stay in, and it will fit up to 3 of your G45 tags. Can go inside there. Pretty cool, huh? But that is, let me just go ahead and now add. Yeah, let's add this matting, which is the wrong size, so I guess I won't. I need to do some cutting, huh? So now you can go ahead and mat. I just got over cutting here. I'll need to cut these down to fit. And then I'll just go ahead and mat that side and we'll be all done. Do the rest of your pages. And there you have an album in the box. No, that was an accordion fold. Because the accordion fold is exactly like we did. Now see, this one I used the color purple, so that's an accordion. This one I did correctly by scoring it on the 8-inch side instead of the 6.5-inch side. And then I also have her graduation card that will fit inside of there, and her graduation gift. So I won't give this to her till graduation day. And she can finish off with the photos that we take to put in here, and of her friends and other things, because I know they're doing something graduation night. See, and you've got plenty of room. These are 4x6 photos, and I did not cut them down at all. And that's why I went with the 5. So I did the matting, it's 4x6. I did the matting at 4 1/8 by 6 1/8. And that is how you'll finish your album. Well, guys, it's been fun. And I hope that you'll show us over on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations your finished album. See how strong they are? This one's heavy because of the pages, and it doesn't even dent in the box. It'll be super strong. And so be sure and show us your finished project. I'll get this one done in a few days, and I'll show you the finished project, the finished decorating that I did using the America collection. Thanks for joining me, guys. It's been fun, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Since it's Memorial Day weekend, I hope everybody gets some sunshine and gets out and enjoys your family, friends. I know we will be. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.